Hello, my name is Gabby and welcome back to my channel, or if you're new here, then welcome to my channel. And in today's video, I'm going to be talking about some books that I have hauled recently, but also not recently, but some of them definitely are. I am basically using this video to talk about some books that I've hauled and haven't talked about on this channel yet. Mostly, at least. I do have some sequels that I've kind of mentioned here and there, but nonetheless, it's time to talk about all of them, and I am so excited to. So content warnings for all of the books that I talk about today will be linked down in the description below. We are going to go in alphabetical order here, and let's go ahead and get started. And the first of the books that I'm going to be talking about today is Get a Life, Chloe Brown by Talia Hibbert. This follows our main character, Chloe Brown, who comes up with a list of how to get a life after almost dying. She wants to do something bad, which for Chloe is not as easy as it sounds, even with her step-by-step plan. So she enlists a heartthrob handyman with tattoos and a motorcycle to be her teacher. And she begins to learn things about him and what truly lies beneath his tough exterior. Romantic comedies have definitely not always been my favorite book genre in the past, and yet I just can't seem to resist them. Especially the hyped ones, and especially the hyped ones that are not only hyped, but also just sound great. And that is exactly what this book is. This is the first book in the Brown Sisters series, and I do plan to make my way through all of them eventually. Obviously, I want to like this one first before that happens, and the odds are high, I think. And even if they're not, I'm pretty sure they all follow different stories, so like, I'm bound to like one of them if I just keep trying. And I'm just excited to eventually be finally starting my journey with this series. And next up in this haul is Lore by Alexandra Bracken. As punishment for a past rebellion, 9 Greek gods have to walk the earth as mortals every 7 years while being hunted by the descendants of ancient bloodlines. And these descendants all want to kill them and take their power and immortality for their own. This follows our main character Lore, who has since fled from this world after her family's murder, but 2 of the hunt's participants end up seeking her out, including Athena, who approaches her with an alliance against a mutual enemy. So I read The Darkest Minds by Alexandra Bracken a long time ago. I don't think I ever finished the series, but I do remember having positive feelings about book 1. I think it may have lost me a little bit towards the ending, and that may have been why, but yeah, it's been a while since I've read something by this author. But as soon as I heard about this one, I knew that I wanted to read it. The book description sounds really interesting. I've also been wanting to read more books with mythology mixed into them lately. So yeah, I've heard good things about this, and we'll see how it goes. Next up is She Gets the Girl by Rachael Lippincott and Alyson Derrick. This follows our main characters Alex and Molly, who are complete opposites of one another. Alex has just suffered a hopefully not permanent breakup, while Molly has a hidden crush on a girl she has not talked to yet. Alex ends up discovering Molly's crush and hopes that if she helps Molly get her dream girl, then her ex will take her back. However, as they try to get their respective girls to fall for them, they start to wonder if they are really starting to fall for each other. I really like this cover, and I think that that means the story may have an aesthetic that I'm really fond of. And once I saw that, I knew I wanted to read this. It was not a difficult decision. The story also does sound really cute, and I feel like it may be in a similar area as some romances that I've really liked in the past. And I just feel like a lot of things are lining up here for me in this book to just have a great time with one another, and hopefully that happens. So next is Skyhunter by Marie Lu. This follows our main character Talon, who is a member of an elite fighting force that is the last defense for the only free nation left in the world, as the Federation has destroyed nation after nation with their army of mutant beasts. As Talon has seen firsthand, as she is a refugee. A prisoner is brought to the capital, and Talon believes there is more to him than meets the eye. However, what she does know is that she's ready to fight for the only home that she has left, with or without the prisoner that can either destroy or save them all. Marie Lu is an author that I've been wanting to get into for a long time. I read Batman Nightcrawler, I don't remember when, but I definitely did. And I own Legend, but I haven't read it yet, and even though Batman Nightcrawler was like a 3-star for me, I think, this author just seems to have a lot of cool stories that I really want to get into based on like everything that I've ever heard about them. I just feel like there's a lot of 5 stars in there, and that definitely includes this book that is in my hand right now. I've also been trying to get more into science fiction lately because it's a genre that I feel like I don't read a lot of. That statement has not been fact-checked by me, but it's what I feel in my heart. I should probably force myself to read Legend first because I've owned that one longer, but we'll see what happens. So next up is The Dawn of Yangchen by F.C. Yi. This is the third book in the Chronicles of the Avatar series, and this one follows Yangchen's journey. I read and really enjoyed both of the Kyoshi novels, which were books 1 and 2 of the Chronicles of the Avatar series. This universe is also just something that I found a lot of love and comfort in. It's a childhood and also current favorite of mine. And I just want to know everything about it, so here we are, and I'm excited for whatever this book wants to bring. And next up is The Dragon's Promise by Elizabeth Lim, which is the sequel to Six Crimson Cranes. This follows our main character Shiori, who has a secret forbidden magic, and before her betrothal ceremony, she loses control over this magic. Although she has successfully stalled the wedding that she does not want, she accidentally draws the attention of her sorceress stepmother. I have been waiting for this day. Six Crimson Cranes is one of my favorite books that I've read so far this year, and also just a favorite in general. And I am just so excited that this is out now because I want and need to know where everything goes. I also feel like this book is going to focus more on a character that I'm excited to see more of, and I've heard it's love triangle heavy, which is definitely not my favorite thing. But Elizabeth Lim has been able to get me to love things that I was unsure of in the past, so I'm shockingly optimistic about it. Probably more optimistic than I should be, but it's already happening and I can't stop it. And I'm also just excited to be back with this author's writing and the atmosphere and just the world because I love all of those things so much. After reading Six Crimson Cranes, I also read the Blood of Stars duology, which takes place in the same universe but after the events of this duology. And I am curious to see what it's like reading this book after reading those two. I don't know what kind of effect that I think it's going to have, but it's a thing, I guess. And yeah, I just cannot wait for this. So next I have The Lesbiana's Guide to Catholic School by Sonora, Reyes. This follows our main character Yami, who was outed by her crush and ex-best friend at her previous school. Now at her new Catholic school, she has no intentions of coming out or falling in love. However, that is easier said than done, as the only openly queer girl at her school is annoyingly perfect. But if word ends up getting back to her mom, Yami could face much worse than rejection. So when I did my birthday book haul a couple of months ago, I saw this book in the store, but I had a plan that day that I did not want to deviate from. And then I was immediately faced with regret about that decision because I couldn't stop thinking about this book afterwards. And now I am free of that regret because this book sounds great. Once again, I feel like this one has similar elements to contemporaries and contemporary romances that I have really enjoyed in the past. And yeah, I'm currently building a fall TBR that I think this book is going to fit very nicely into, and I am very much looking forward to reading this, hopefully very soon. And speaking of the fall, the next book in this haul is The Sunbearer Trials by Aiden Thomas. At the beginning of each decade, the sun's power must be replenished so that the evil obsidian gods can stay at bay. 10 semidioses are chosen to compete in the Sunbearer Trials, where the loser is sacrificed so that their body may protect everyone for the next 10 years. Our main character is Tio, who is the trans son of the goddess of birds, and he is never really worried about the trials except for his worrying about others regarding the trials. However, that all changes when he gets chosen to compete against opponents that are better trained and more powerful than himself. Honestly, I just kind of want to scream with excitement. I'm not going to, but the feeling is there. Cemetery Boys by Aiden Thomas was my favorite book that I read last year, so this became an insta-buy for me as soon as I learned about its existence. But it would have become an insta-buy anyway based on the book description, Cemetery Boys or not. My reading year this year doesn't need the saving that Cemetery Boys ended up doing last year, but it could always be elevated. And I just cannot think of any other book right now that has better odds of doing that than this one. And the last book for this video is This Wicked Fate by Kalynn Bayron, which is the sequel to This Poison Heart. This Poison Heart follows our main character who has a hidden power over plants. When she inherits a house from her birth mother, she also gains a space to test out her powers. But as she begins to bring the garden back to life, she uncovers that she has also inherited a dark secret, and her ancestors are not going to let her be until she accepts that she is the keeper of the dark power of the Poison Garden. Like Six Crimson Cranes, This Poison Heart is one of my favorite books that I've read this year. I love the mystery elements and the romance and also the family family relationships and the complex dynamics. The ending of book 1 has me super excited for this one, and I'm looking forward to picking up where the story left off. There's a lot that I want and just need to see, and I cannot wait to see what this book delivers. And I'll talk about this more later because this is not that video, even though it kind of feels like it right now. But I did get some fall vibes from this Poison Heart that I would love to capitalize on. So those are all of the books in this haul and for this video. Thank you all so much for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell, and answer the question that'll be around here if you want to do that. And hopefully I will see you here next time. Bye!